Fanatics has 99 problems, and a breaker isn't one. That's going to be the title of the video. Uh, Now, this is from Sports Card Radio. I've been talking a lot about filth bombs lately. I was going to do a little deeper dive, but then I saw this Pac-Man story. I mean, he just basically had a meltdown. I'm not going to get too much into this as a lot of people are covering it. And like I said, it just seems that it was out of character. He blew up, and I'll let the other people, do the digging on that. There's bigger stories that I want to definitely get into in this video. It's again from Source Card Radio. Top breakers revealed in leaked Fanatics documents. Fanatics is just not having good PR the past month. I mean, they threatened to sue a breaker because he believed that there were loaded boxes. All these leaks going on with Fanatics, and then like all the people tied to Fanatics, like they're shady. And it's no doubt about that. Let's just look at this article. Leaked internal documents have pulled back the curtain on Fanatics Collectibles private meetings and partner strategies during the 2025 National Sports Collectors Convention. It's privileged and confidential. Its leaderboard ranking Fanatics top partners by their 12-month rolling spend. And it's just talking about who is going to get a better, privileges in terms of allocation. Yeah, marketing does this behind closed doors. You have financial professionals like, hey, look, the top performers should get the best rewards in a company, bonuses, spot bonuses, stock options if they're publicly traded, whatever it is. But it's interesting that Card Vault by Tom Brady's gets different pricing based on its location near sports stadiums. I'm pretty sure Fanatics does not like this information leaking to SCR. Now, I just wonder who actually leaked this information to them. That is quite interesting. So, I just want to say that there are people from the inside of Fanatics that reach out to a bunch of us. Okay? And I'm just going to leave it at that. They have their ways. But, anyways, you see a blowout. Oh, boy. Fanatics Collectibles' largest e-com distributor, strongest market making ability is a guidepost for secondary market pricing. Oh man, 12-month rolling spend, almost $50 million. Wow. David Adams, 42 million. Blaz, 17. We got a hobby, 13.6. Phil Bob, 12.9. Yeah, there's a reason why these two are protected, Filth Bomb and Backyards, right? It's just that they have made a ton of money. And as a result, you got to protect them. KC card situation, right? They're going to cover it up. They're not going to talk about this publicly. Potentially privately, they may do something about this, but I haven't seen any notice. They may make a notice when they botch up allocation, not allocation, but the collation of product, but that's about it. They're not going to say they messed up. The bigger story, though, in the world, and I know in the sports card hobby, the biggest story is Pac-Man, but this is what everybody needs to talk about. I'm not here chasing the algorithm. I could easily chase the algorithm, okay? But this past week, we saw the Epstein list get released. That's right. Now, people will be like, what does the Epstein list have to do with sports cards? What does it have to do with collectibles? Well, Jay Z has invested $300 million in Fanatics. Okay, this is not Pac-Man. I'm not trying to rip on people going after Pac-Man. You still need to call it out because what he said was just flat out ridiculous, getting mad at his customers. He said that he was getting mad at trollers, but whatever, right? Got a guy, rapper, celebrity, $300 million in Fanatics. This is from the Department of Justice, or DOJ. They unclassified this information, and we could just read about it. And this is a victim of abuse by Epstein and others. And this person, we don't know, once again, if this is 100% accurate. However, there have been other rumblings of Jay-Z as well. Okay. And of Epstein, abuse by Epstein. And then it goes on saying in 1996, this person resided with, it's all blacked out. An unknown man abducted her from her home, whence she later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, Jay-Z, while Weinstein had inserted his fingers into, okay, believed she was in Epstein's mansion in Florida. Estimated she was abducted on 7 occasions, awaking each time in an opulent indoor setting. Suffered from blank abuse on multiple of these occasions, in which Epstein participated. Okay, let's read about this. In approximately 2006, last recalled being abused by Epstein. On each occasion, believed she was drugged, clouding her memory. Attributed the drugging as frequently performed by persons assigned as handlers, whom she described a person who established friendships with the victims. Among her handlers, identified the artist Pusha T. And this is what Kanye West talked about. And people will be like, well, you need more evidence. It wasn't prosecuted. Like, hey, look, celebrities do things all the time. They get away with it. They pay people off. It's a mob. It's a mafia. It's just like politics. Just even like the corporate world. There are people that are protected and there are people that are not. Okay? There's a bunch of other stories of Jay-Z and Beyonce. Okay? And allegedly, or apparently, Beyonce and Jay-Z are losing followers on social media this past week. And I'm going to read you this again. There was Larry Johnson, and he was hanging out with a bunch of people, and Beyonce happened to be at that party.
So when 11 o'clock hit, we turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. For a rap party at 11 o'clock at night, drinking, loud music, and us dancing wild. Like, I don't know where these kids came from. And then I happened to sit down because I was dancing with one of the assistants. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy? Or isn't this sexy? And in my mind, and mind you, I'm not awakened as I'm awakened now. So in my mind, I'm like, what did she just say? And then I didn't pay no attention to it. And then, obviously the liquor took hold of me and I had to leave. So I said bye to everybody and left. But those kids remained. I don't know if those kids were from the photo shoot themselves, but the fact that these kids came around adults during drinking hours or partying hours was already alarming to me. So when I hear something like this happens, I can't really discount it and say, oh, he could never do this, because I'm hearing stories. I'm seeing it with my own eyes, and I've been in situations where something don't sound or look right, and it's usually involving children.
Larry, you've just blown my mind, and so I'm going to have to ask you to, I just want to be clear on what I just heard. In 2006 or 7,
yeah,
you're in Colorado at a winter party with Jay-Z and the people with Rock Nation. And
it was the people who helped out with the photo shoot. It was a winter campaign that we shot. Mm-hmm.
and it's at some very nice mansion somewhere in Colorado.
Yeah, up in the mountains somewhere.
And Beyonce is sitting relatively close to you, and there's a child there. And,
Yes.
and this is after 11 o'clock at night. And she says, "Doesn't this look sexy?"
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce, the singer.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Yes. Yes.
So yeah, thing is that Beyonce, Jay-Z didn't start litigation on this guy. Like, if you're making that claim, you should be, and it's wrong, you should be sued to bankruptcy. Okay? So when you see Ruben hanging out with all these, celebrities, going to these he hosts these white parties. He asks Meek Mill to what? Bunny hop for him. He's hanging out with ex-cocaine dealers, showing up with their $85 million collection at these Fanatic fests. Like, what's going on at Fanatics? They cover up for the breakers. They load the boxes up, based on what I've seen. They, have shady people, or let me be careful in what I say. People that have invested hundreds of millions of dollars have been accused of crazy things. And now it's in the DOJ side. Okay. Yes. What we saw the other day with Pac-Man, that is bad. But like, dude, Fanatics has 99 problems. And these breakers aren't one of them. If this Jay-Z thing is true. Because you're seeing rumors left and right. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to you later. Bye.